giving a voice to the voiceless. We share the stories behind our freedoms and the ultimate sacrifice of those who protect us all. This is Patriots Inside the Wire.
Patriot, someone who was willing to give his life for his country and served honorably in Iraq.
Signed our names with no regrets. Only wanted to be the best that we could be. And we wanted this and nothing more than to be true down to the core. We thought we'd live forever, but when the full moon is bright and the wind blows just right, I can hear your voice on the wind.
I should have left it. I came back on the perfect day, really. But you know what? It's really more like
21 guns into the night till we meet again on the other side. 21 guns, this is goodbye till we meet again on the other side. Yeah, 21 guns.
Beautiful thing to see the family and friends come together and honor his life and his service to our country.
It's great to see you guys out here. This is awesome, really.
Welcome to the Patriots Inside the Wire broadcast, hosted by Gold Star mom, Tracy Two-Step.
Welcome. Hello. How is everyone out there? This is Patriots Inside the Wire. Patriots Inside the Wire. Grab your friends. Share this to come join us live. We are live right now in your homes or wherever you're at and you're listening. Let your loved ones know, your friends know. Tonight, we not only have veteran, but we are going to focus on Gold Star families and something that is coming up. So we'd like to give you a moment to go ahead and do that. I call this Wednesday Warriors. You know, it's the middle of the week and there is a lot that is going on and there's a lot to be grateful for. And we just want to say thank you for tuning in. Thank you for being here. I wanted to give just a little intro here while you're hopefully grabbing people and sharing. Tonight, we're going to talk about, Gold Star families. And a lot of people really don't know what that is. And that's okay, because we really don't want you to, honestly. And what that is two words: active duty. Someone is serving active duty in our military, and they're no longer here while they were serving active duty. And their families that are left behind, those are the Gold Star families, their immediate families. So tonight, you're going to have a Gold Star mom, which I'm right here. You can see my son's pictures all behind me. I'm very proud of him. And then we're also going to have Mr. Terry Burgess here, who is a Gold Star father. Let me say that again. Gold Star father. And I put emphasis on this because I always say Gold Star Family Foundation, which is something that we're working on. SWAT's aware of Gold Star Family Foundation. Mr. John Swat is with us. He is a Army veteran, musician, right out of Fort Stewart as well, where my son was. So thank you for being with us, Terry and Swat. We call Swat. Swat goes by his last name on here. So welcome to the show with Patriots Inside the Wire. I see we already have comments. What I'd like to do is introduce you to Mr. Terry Burgess. Terry is the founder of Gold Star Parents Retreat. So we'd like to let you know about Gold Star Parents Retreat and this wonderful organization that brings literally families. I'm talking mothers, fathers, brothers, sisters, older. You know, I have a younger one still, together in a room, not just for an hour, not for just a half a day, but over the course of a couple of days. And that is approaching. And to be in a room like that where you don't have to explain, you really don't have to even wonder, like, is do they know what this is, and or do they think that we're all going to just bring the room down? That happens too, right, Terry? It's kind of like, you think that they'll be too upset? No, we want you to know that we want to be included. We want to be there as well. We still want to continue our patriotism, and we would welcome all of you, our veterans, our first responders, all of our patriots, our border patrol, to please stay involved, reach out, and be there with all of us. So we welcome all of you here tonight. Tonight, Gold Star Parents Retreat. This is Mr. Terry Burgess. Not too many times will you see a Gold Star father. I apologize. I hear Gold Star mom a lot. But that is something that Terry and I connected over was, I just had a different phone call and they said, you didn't say Gold Star mom, you said Gold Star family. Thank you. And I said, well, you're welcome. I'm very conscious of that. So Terry, I'm going to turn it over to you right now about Gold Star Parents Retreat. And thank you for being with us.
Thank you, Tracy and John. It's good to see you. Good to meet you. And Tracy, you're right. That's the main reason we started Gold Star Parents Retreat after Brian was killed. This was 13 years ago, 2011, when Brian was killed. And we attended all the ceremonies. We went to Dover. We attended ceremonies at Fort Campbell. We've been to reunions of the unit. And after, I kind of put it the way that after all the cards and casseroles start coming, I started sinking into that depression that takes hold. And you just wonder why. And what do I do now? And I'd be sitting out on our back deck, drinking a beer, smoking a cigar, thinking, I'm not doing anything to honor my son. I'm not doing anything in his memory. And that depression just got a hold of me. Beth started looking for help to see who could help the dads.
And Beth is your wife. I just wanted to throw that out there real quick.
Yes, Beth.
We love Beth.
Stepmom, yes.
Yes.
And we didn't find anything for dads. You're right. There was a lot for moms. There was a lot for kids. And of course, the wives, the spouses. And at this time, it was, I think we were 3 or 4 years after Brian had been killed, and we were still searching. And a friend of ours said, have you met other Gold Star parents? And I think the only ones we had met were the Rileys out of Toller near Stephenville. And we said, we don't know how. How do you connect with them? Where do you find them? Where do you go to meet other parents that are searching for what we are? So we started sending out invitations. We got together with the Survivor Outreach Services here in Fort Worth.
I love that.
They got in touch with some of the families, and we sent out some invitations just on social media saying, this is for the parents of fallen service members. And we didn't have any idea what was going to happen. We had some ideas of what we were going to do during the weekend and share stories and everything. And Tracy, this was down in Lakey, Texas, down South Texas. We had a packed house. We had parents show up from El Paso, from Brownsville, from Tyler, from Texarkana. They came from all over saying, this is what we've been looking for. How do we connect with other Gold Star parents? And what you said a while ago is absolutely right. This is a place where you can talk about the worst day of your life and you get a big hug, you get tears. We've talked to our families, we've talked to friends and coworkers about it, and they get that glazed look in their eyes. And okay, we're done. You don't want to hear this, and I don't want to share this with you. It's not doing any good.
Right.
Gold Star Parents Retreat turned into a place we could take our public mask off. You know, you have to put on a brave face when you're at work or when you're with your family. You can take that mask off at Gold Star Parents Retreat. You can cry, you can laugh. And we found out some parents felt guilty laughing at anything. They said, why should I be enjoying myself? My son or my daughter's dead. I can't enjoy a holiday. I can't enjoy a joke. I can't enjoy a good movie because of the guilt. And we help them understand it's okay. It's okay to laugh. One of the moms actually said, she came up to me and she said, Terry, I heard the sweetest sound since our son died. She said, I heard my husband laugh. So to me, that's a success. We're doing something right, bringing these parents together. They form connections and networks that will last them the rest of their lives. And we started off just in Texas. Like you said, we had people saying, we don't have anything like Gold Star Parents Retreat in our state. What do we do? We started helping them travel to get into Texas. And I think it was just a year ago, we connected with American Airlines, Randy Stillinger at American Airlines. And he said, Terry, let me see what I can do. And he donated air miles to help us fly parents from all across America into Texas so they can share this and take it back home with them and help share the story and help others deal with their grief. And you've heard me say this at Gold Star Parents Retreat. We never claim we're going to fix you. We're not going to stop this. We're going to help you get over this. No, we will never say that. We help you move forward with it. We help you deal with it and feel better about sharing the stories, sharing the tears, letting other people know I'm proud of my son or my daughter, regardless of that cause of death. Your son or your daughter raised their right hand. And to us, that's golden. That's all we need to know. If your son or daughter, if it's hard to say still, but if they passed away while they were in service to the country, you're welcome to come to the retreat. We don't put any stipulations on that. I wouldn't want anybody to put a stipulation on me. So that's not something we do. So we invite all parents of any fallen service member from any branch of service. They're welcome. The retreats are small. We keep them rather intimate. So they are by RSVP only. And you can do that on our website, goldstarparentsretreat.org, there at the bottom of the screen. And we fill up fast. And that's one of the other successes. It's hard to deal with. You want to help anyone and everyone who comes to you, but we're small. It's just me and Beth. We run the retreat. We have no paid employees. We don't have an office space that we rent out. We don't have many assets. So it's just me and her. And we have volunteers come to the retreat to help out. And they are vetted. They are volunteers who fully understand why these parents are there. And that goes a long ways with some of these organizations. They get all kinds of volunteers who may not understand what a Gold Star is, how heavy that Gold Star pin really is for some of these people. So our volunteers, man, they carry us through these retreats. And it's only 2 or 3 days. This year we've expanded to Thursday. We're having people flying on Thursday. We have some great friends, Mike and Delisha Boza. They're going to put on a cookout for us at their RV for the early arrivals on Thursday night. And then Friday, we're going to get set up for the official retreat. And then Friday at 6, we're going to have a great dinner. And our guest speaker is going to be Natalie King. And she is a U.S. Air Force retired. And her story is just one of amazing dealing with anything that life can throw at you. Natalie's had to deal with. So we're so glad to welcome Natalie, and her friend Justin are going to come to the retreat and be there with us. Saturday's going to be a Texas breakfast for everybody. And then we're going to load up on a bus and we're going to go to the brand new Woody Williams Gold Star Families Memorial out at Wichita Lake at the Veterans Park out there.
Beautiful.
We've got a few surprises, I hope, for the parents. It's supposed to be stormy. I keep watching the weather, but it's spring in Texas. I have no idea what it's going to do. But we're going to do that rain or shine. And then go back to the ranch. This is all at Jellystone. What do they call it? Jellystone Park. You know, the Yogi Bear
Jellystone Park
there in Wichita Falls, and it's a beautiful place. And coincidentally, and not by we didn't know this was going to happen. But we started talking to the event coordinator there, Paula Terry. We found out she is a Gold Star daughter of Vietnam. Her dad was killed in Vietnam, and we didn't know this when we started looking at Jellystone. So that's she's another person who totally understands why we're there, what we're doing, and what we're trying to accomplish.
That's
amazing.
Blessing. That's a blessing.
Isn't it? It sure is. And Terry, so you mentioned a couple of things there. So last year I was in session and I got to go, and I'm going to tell you, it's the first event that people might think that I'm out there a lot at these events. I do help a lot as far as resources or connecting. I'm actually a Gold Star mother. Excuse me. It's not as comfortable for me to just attend. And so Terry knows this. He knows me well. And I came up for one day, literally, last year. And I was like, you know what? This, and as well as I know Terry and Beth, they're amazing. And I want to point out Mike and Delisha Bozo too. Amazing. I cannot wait to see them. We've got so many messages here. Thank you, Anna. Thank you. You have one here as well. Terry, I don't know if you can see these messages or if you know Victor. Victor's talking about your book. So Terry Burgess wrote a book as well. You know, when your Blue Star turned gold, you're considered Blue Star while they're active duty. And these are just terms that came out of the DOD, and it goes through other organizations. This organization, Gold Star Parents Retreat, is not affiliated with another organization. It is its own entire organization. And just as Terry said, so he's correct. Just to sign up, you know, there's a waiting list now. So this year I thought, man, I got a hold of Terry and I said, let me try some of these RV parks, which he had already tried a couple. And I don't know how many I called, but I didn't have much success because they didn't really understand. Well, I didn't have much time either. So I was asking for a whole lot really quick. We wanted a few RVs because we could have put a few more families there. Yeah. So this is a park where there's cabins and you can have your RV and attend as well. So Terry, as I know it, as a Gold Star father, it is correct. And then, you know, I thought about it because of my son. So siblings. And I was like, boy, he does not get to see why his brother even decided to join. And I need him to understand further generations in my family have always served. Excuse me. It's just a tic tac. I'm not sick. Sorry. But I wanted him to understand that. And I want to remember all of them. I want to still be included, still be associated. When I connect to a veteran, for instance, I've connected to SWAT, and we have mutual friends that one of them has been a mentor of mine for, my goodness, before Adam was actually killed. So, and I'm grateful because, you know, we don't have a troop. We don't have a unit. We don't have, it's kind of like, where do you go? So I kind of thought about this when I was running Military Moms of Texas. I was like, what if we connected veterans to a Gold Star mom or dad? Because even veterans transitioning or just being out don't have that. And I started seeing a change. So I was like, it for myself, literally, it made the world of difference to just have them reach out and check, send me a text. And I was like, man, this is what I want. And this is what is going to help plenty of families. And Terry, It was so full. Everybody listen, Gold Star Parents Retreat, as Terry was just telling you, there's laughing. You can be crying. I mean, it's a large area. You don't have to do anything you don't want to do.
No.
You can be in a corner with someone laughing or with someone who's asking you if you know how to do the two-step because you're from Texas. That happened to me. And after begging Terry, I don't know how many times to put me to work, I just went and did it behind his back. So I was like, well, I'm just going to go wash dishes and clean. And then there was nothing left to clean. So I ended up saying, sure, I'll teach you the two-step. So it was amazing. Sergeant Carter, for instance, I mean, we have so many people there that make this. And you built this, Terry. This is your foundation that you felt in the heart. And you knew that, man, there's got to be more people out there that feel the same way. And I connected immediately to what you were saying. And this retreat, I mean, think about this. This is like over several days. The food, you've got drinks, you've got, activities. There were even massages and stuff last year. I mean, there's so many things for Gold Star Parents Retreat, and I am going this year to all of it. I'm flying out this week. So I just encourage everyone to go look at their website, goldstarparentsretreat.org, and to connect. And what I would like to say that, it's hard when it's your organization, right, to say something that I'm going to say, which is it is not easy to run an organization over the course of several days on a budget of your own bank account, because I know from experience that I am guilty of that a lot. How do you say no, right? But what I know is that Gold Star Parents Retreat, if you are looking for someone or some organization to support out there, and this supports not just Terry and Beth, and this is in honor of their son. Now their son is Staff Sergeant Brian Burgess. I have to say his name. We always say their name. So you can say Sergeant Two Step for me. That's his nickname. But Terry, this is something that has grown into where I just kind of went and I could breathe. I mean, I even went to an event recently, and it's all about music. So music is therapy for me.
Yes.
And SWAT was there. And so I can go to that music event, and then I can turn around and go to Gold Star Parents Retreat. And what is interesting is I'm not a different person at either. I can be there and I can be with you, and I can be open and I can share, and I don't have to feel, that heaviness. Not to say that we don't. I don't want to, I'm going to tell the truth. If anyone knows me out there, I'm not PC, and I tell the truth to a fault. I'd rather do that than the opposite. But Gold Star Parents Retreat, Terry, is always this time of the year, correct?
Yes. This
The
is around
dates?
Brian's birthday. April 23rd is his birthday.
Correct.
The main reason that we started this. So, yeah.
Yes, I wanted to point that out. So I wanted to get, more about Brian and his birthday and why you chose that time for the retreat. Is there something you'd like to add to that, Terry?
Oh, just you really touched on it because, like I said, Beth and I don't draw a salary. We're not paid for this. Beth still works a full-time job. I'm retired, so I'm able to do the retreat full-time. But every single dollar, every dime that we receive in donations goes into the program. Beth and I have paid for some of the resources, some of the decoration stuff out of our pocket. We like Hobby Lobby when they have sales. That's a really good place to go to find 4th of July decorations or Veterans Day decorations. So that comes out of our own pocket. And we've had a tremendous donation this last year from Mike and Kathy Brower. You may know them. But they literally financed this retreat for us. And I can't praise them enough for helping us out, because I was I was stressed. You can ask Beth. I was just pulling what little hair I have out of my head, trying to figure out how we were going to finance this, who we were going to have to uninvite, or were we going to have to find a different place to do it. It was really stressful. But Mike and Kathy alleviated a bunch of that. Mike Bozo, he took over American Airlines for me. He handled all of the flight, all of the bookings, took a tremendous load off of me for that so that I could focus on the retreat itself.
Yes,
So
and
people coming
that's
together,
amazing.
yeah,
It
people
is,
pulling
Terry.
together doing this. And you're not alone. You're not the only guest we've had that says, give me something to do. These people are amazing. They come in and they want to help. They want to help decorate. Like, okay, you're a guest. Sit down, be quiet, and enjoy something. Have
Well,
some
what it sounds
fun.
like,
Yes,
you know,
relax.
what I've picked up on, Terry, just, you know, the little bit you've told us, is that the good thing about it is even though they might be from another part of the country or may have served in another branch, you automatically have that automatic connection, just like you and Tracy have.
It is.
And that, I think that is the most amazing part, you know, speaking as a veteran, you know, just like I have with, you know, all my, you know, veterans that we served together, even if we might not have served in the same, you know, company or even the same, you know,
Yeah.
military branch, you automatically have that connection. And I think what you're doing is just absolutely amazing. And I think that's why people, you know, like Tracy and all the others that, you know, have a chance to kind of cooperate, you know, and be a part of this. I mean, it's just, it's, Tracy and I always joke around about, you know, how music is therapeutic, but I think this is kind of
It
therapeutic in
is.
a different way. And just thank you so much. First of all, thank you and Beth, but
Oh,
all obviously, you know, Brian, for y'all sacrifice. You know, I don't even, I've never even met Brian, but I already automatically feel a connection to y'all. And I know just Tracy feels the same way. And, you know, what y'all are doing is just so amazing. And so if people do want to donate, do they go to the same website there
yes.
to, if they want to, okay, excellent. Okay. And
Yep.
then if they want
There's a donate button there. There's also, I think, one on our Facebook page. Beth is excellent about handling the social media part of it. But yeah, if you go to the goldstarparentsretreat.org, there's a donate button there.
to, okay.
And it's
What is the
very
Facebook
much
again?
appreciated.
The Facebook is also so Gold Star Parents Retreat. If you look it up
Yes.
anywhere on social media, you'll be able to find that.
Great.
Um,
Yep.
so I recommend going to the website. You can actually see some pictures. I actually had one I was going to show you. It's all over the internet right now of the group from last year, thanking American Airlines. Again, let's do a shout out for them. American Airlines, thank you for
Yes.
taking
Yes.
care of the families for us. Mike and Delisha, thank you for taking that over. That is a big job.
Yeah.
When in person, I will tell you later, Swat, a story about that. Um, but we're always educating, right? That's how I feel. It's like we always need to educate, update,
Yeah.
and you know, a lot of people just don't know. So I there's a lot of grace there, and I just encourage everyone. And I got this from Amy, and she's with Memories of Honor. And, you know, after a couple of conversations, she's like, we're going to start saying just do no harm. And I said, oh my goodness, I'm going to steal that from you. and she's laughing at me. And I said, actually, I really am. But I'm going to say it. And what I'm going to say is, you know, do no harm. There is no harm in, you know, connecting. Are we hurting? You bet. Are we going to come and make your event, you know, not as happy or no? There might be someone that needs to lean on someone and have that. And I encourage anyone that's listening right now, you can reach out. I encourage you if you need help to call 988. So when it's something like that, please call if you need some help in regards to how you're doing, whether it's you just are feeling depressed and you can't pull yourself out of that. I'm going to advise you to call 988. If you're wanting to know about resources, if you're wanting to know about connecting, Terry mentioned survivor outreach services. And when we say that in the Army, that's on the base. So Survivor Outreach Services is at your base. So for instance, I am close to Fort Hood. And yes, I said Fort Hood. It is Fort Cavazos now,
Always
but I
will
can't
be.
help it. I just, I can't help it. I'm sorry. Um, and I'm not far from there. So I just encourage everyone, you reach out, let's connect, let's build this even bigger to where we can. There's a waiting list. I felt bad about that. And I had been talking for this last year, with Terry. So Terry on the side, like I'll tell you right here, if you're that stressed again, let me know and let me make some phone calls. I am more than happy to do that. I know I came in on a couple of shows. We did a couple of shows
Yeah.
this year, but um, we kind of worked with some things to see what would work. We're on X right now, live now. So it's, visual. Whereas before we were doing spaces. So
Yeah.
if anyone hasn't checked that out, that is the old Twitter. It's always like, yes, when I say X, I mean Twitter. And then the sites that we're on, but Gold Star Parents Retreat, if you go to the website, you will see pictures of these families. You will actually see a whole slideshow. They have a slideshow, and you will be able to see these service members, their picture, and the dates, and they keep that updated on their site as well. So I just tell you, check that out. Adam's picture is on there, and I can tell you, even when I was stuck in session, that Terry and Beth, thank you. You included Adam
Mhm.
in your website. You included him. You know, I want to say roll call, but it's really an honor
Yeah.
call, is what it is. It's an
Yeah.
honor roll call. So, thank you for that. But Gold Star Parents Retreat is a very positive environment. It is a all inclusive. I mean, you're
Yes.
not that's why we're asking if we need as an organization to ask you, when you're looking for somewhere that's authentically genuine, that is looking to use those donations to go directly for what we're talking about right now. We're talking about food, drinks, the basic necessities. Now, where are they going to stay? It's not coming out of their pockets. So it's got to come out of someone's. And I have no problem. I have tried just on Facebook, but Terry, I can make phone calls. That would be a lot. That would be easier. After my recent trip to DC too, I'll get into on another show, but I'll give you a little bit when I'm up there with you.
Okay.
I mean, between the Gary Sinise Foundation, the Rosie the Riveter Trust, and Boeing, and some people that we ended up working with, I am amazed at how they've been searching for Gold Star families that they could work for. And well, my name tag, I put on there, Gold Star Family Foundation, which is something that we're doing. So you got Gold Star Parents Retreat here with Mr. Terry Burgess, and then Gold Star Family Foundation will be a resource of all organizations combined, resources that are out there. Currently, you can go to patriotsinsidethewire.com. And so Gold Star Parents Retreat would be listed on there as a link to their site as a resource for you. So Gold Star Parents Retreat, it's the people that are there that are volunteering. And again, Terry, you won't be able to get me to not work. So if there's something that needs to be done, I am more than happy to do it. I am comfortable that way.
I
Um,
appreciate that. Yeah. There's
yeah.
always something. There's always something.
Right. There definitely is. And I am okay with that. I kind of put myself in that lane a long time ago when he was just starting out. When I say he, I mean my son, and his nickname's Two Steps. So, with Military Moms of Texas, and now it's just a resource. So I've built that resource from, my goodness, 15 years ago. And the number one that I go to is Survivor Outreach Services. So that is on your base. And the reason that we say this is it's Army. I know that it's different for Marines.
Yeah.
I do know it's different for Navy. So you've got us here. We're all in the same branch. So we all know, like when we say Survivor Outreach Services, I know what that is. You know what that is. Some people say FRG. I've
Yeah.
even heard, I don't know what is it for? I'm going to get in trouble for this because I forgot. For Marines, they're going to get me, aren't they? SWAT, they're going to get me. Um, I
I
don't want
wouldn't
to.
know. Army is the way to go. So, no, we love our
Well,
Marines too, but it's the great thing is, and I know Terry, I know you feel the same way, and especially Tracy. We've talked about this. Um, when you have a service member, no matter what branch it's in, it's not just them that's serving the country; it's the families as well,
Yeah.
and that's what's so great about what you're doing, Terry. Is it's the families that are affected just as much as anybody, and it's just so wonderful to have an organization that has a place, where families can reach out and families can get together, and like you said, they can laugh and cry. And even though Adam and Brian didn't know each other, you and Tracy automatically have a connection,
Yeah.
and you and Tracy and Beth automatically have a connection, and that's just, as a veteran, I think that's absolutely wonderful. That there's we sometimes forget about the families, and we remember the service, men and women out there, but sometimes we forget that the families serve right alongside of them, and it affects them just as much. So it's just so wonderful what you guys are doing, and it fills me with joy that there's organizations out there like that. So
That's very much appreciated. Thank you so very, very much. It's not easy to do, and there are days it's hard to just get out of bed. But then again, that thought comes through my head. I said, okay, I know there were days that Brian didn't want to get out of bed, but he got out and he put on those boots and he did his patrol. He did his duty. And I'm like, this is easy for me. This is
yeah.
easy. And Tracy, I know you've seen it. The film that Brian is actually in, the Hornet's Nest movie that was filmed by Mike Betcher there in Afghanistan. And I was a war movie buff. I had watched all kinds of war movies with my dad and even with Brian. But when I saw this live action film, these from the helmet cams from Mike's camera, to hear the bullets whizzing past their heads and hearing the radio calls, that that brotherhood, there's no other way to say it. There was that brotherhood of those men when trying to get Brian and his fallen soldiers out of that valley, the way they were concerned with them. They had, the other guys had no idea their status when they were taken out of the valley. Those guys continued fighting. And then whenever they got back to Fort Campbell, just the outpouring of respect from every single person on that base, and Fort Campbell's huge, was just, it was that light bulb moment of me understanding what the Army brotherhood truly is. And that's part of what we carry through into the retreat. Is we have mostly the dads, some of the dads that will come and their wives will say, I had to drag him here, I had to bring him in, he really didn't want to come. He don't want to sit around the campfire singing Kumbaya. Like, okay, that's not what we do. We light
No.
up cigars and have some bourbon, and we
Yeah.
share stories. And so by the time the weekend's over, those dads, they want to come back, they want to hook up with us, they want to go fishing, go hunting, whatever they want to do. Say, like, this is a bond that we just made in just a few days. It's just almost instantaneous. You watch them, and I think I've told you this before, Tracy. Like, usually we start on Friday, and we have several new families come in each year who have never been there before, and you can tell, they're being quiet, they're being reserved, and they're, hello, how are you, and all this. And by Sunday, when we're leaving, they're hugging each other, their
Yeah.
family. They're saying, "Give me your email address.
Yeah.
If you're ever in Fort Worth, stop by, come on and see us." We've become family in just that short amount of time, and that is amazing to me. Beth and I don't have to do anything. We just invited them to come in, and it's organic the way that this happens, and it's amazing to see. It's incredible to see. And yes, we do a very emotional roll call at the beginning of the ceremony on Friday. We have the slideshow where we say their names. The parents will stand up for a moment and then be seated, and Beth rings the honor bell for them. So that's the very emotional and very respectful time for our retreat to say their names. And then from there, it's just organic. It's laughing, it's crying, it's sharing those stories, finding those connections. Hey, my son served with this unit when they were over there. Hey, that's where my son was. You know, my son was in this unit. Oh my gosh, they must have, yeah, they had to have known each other. So yeah, it's incredible to see. And I mentioned that, we don't discriminate against killed in action, missing in action, suicides, training accidents, murder. We have some incredibly horrible stories from families, from parents that come in there, and watching them connect and learning to share that story and seeing I'm not the only one who went through this is a tremendous help, because those first few years, it was years I felt completely cut off from friends, from coworkers, from family. When your family tells you, we'd rather y'all not come to Easter because you make everybody sad. Like, okay, I'm I don't know what to say to that.
Yeah.
But you come here and these families, and they say, anytime you're in town, come see us. We'll put down the couch for you. We'll make up a bed for you. And it's that becomes your family. One of the chapters in my book was our address book changed, and it did. It went from all of these people that I thought were friends to all these people that now become family. And
It's beautiful.
it's hard to deal with at times, but that's exactly how we deal with it. You surround yourself by those who understand and accept and can help.
Correct. And you did just touch on that. That is something that I like to touch on quite a bit because I'm working in legislation on a piece, and there are so many different, unfortunately, stories out there, and they're not just stories. These are actual
Yeah.
service members
Yeah.
that are not here, and they swore an oath. I say this now from now on, Terry, after several things that have happened. Um, when an oath was taken, so SWAT, you know this, as an oath is taken, it's foreign and domestic. I'd like to say that again, foreign and domestic. So whether you're on foreign soil or domestic, you swore an oath. And when you signed up to join the military, as our children did, as SWAT did too, um, I know for a fact that SWAT's mother, which I've never met, I can't wait to meet, sent a prayer to SWAT. Please tell Tracy hello, and that she's in our thoughts and prayers. And I was like, wow, that is above and beyond. I don't even, I mean, I haven't met her, and I was like, wow, tell her that means a lot. It really, really does. And when I connected, SWAT was at Fort Stewart, and they do a ceremony where if it's overseas, they have a tree there, but they will not do it for those that unfortunately lose in many, many other ways. And so, just like you, Terry, we end up finding ourselves put into a lane. And that lane means we have to create our own road. We have to figure out that path. And that path needs to be the least resistant because we're already fragile. So that's why I like to say, do no harm. And I keep it at 2 words now. If I get a call or someone's wanting to ask me, I say, just answer this for me. Active duty, yes or no? Yes. Okay. Yes. You're a gold star mom, dad, whomever it is talking to me, depending on who they are. But it's that simple. You signed up, they signed up, they were active duty. They didn't choose to take off that uniform. Is that right? We're correct. So that is a Gold Star family. And then you have SWAT. SWAT's a veteran. And veterans have, a tough time too in their own transitioning. You brought up something, Terry, and I'm even experiencing it right now. Your friends change, your
Mhm.
people change. And I hate to say this, but it actually happens ongoing. Not even just in the first 3 years, but I'm experiencing that right now. I need to keep myself in a positive lane and, make decisions that are going to be beneficial to me and my health, my children, and, you know, I I'm really bad at saying no. um,
It's
and I
hard.
just had that conversation. It is very hard for me, but I am more than happy to. I do have the resources though, so connections that are out there. That happened by doing the work before he was killed, and then after he was killed, I had to switch to a whole new crew that I was working with. But I still like to support all. So I still active duty veterans, our fallen service members and their families. Um, we like to take care of all of those, and through that, that means whichever organization. So for a Gold Star family, and that is service members serving active duty who are no longer here while they were serving. That was a lot to get out at one line there. They are Gold Star parents, and we just want you to know that we do want your phone call. We do want to be included. So um, I'm going to say it again. If you're listening right now, we hope that you're sharing this. And if you tune in later and you're listening, or you're listening to us on the podcast, goldstarparentsretreat.org, Gold Star Parents Retreat. I'm going to be taking actually some video. I am going to take snapshots. We do have Rick Irving too. Shout out to
Yeah.
Rick. He
Yes.
does photography there, and it is just amazing. Um, so by all coming together, and I plan to come back with some footage, and then we'll have a lot of Rick's photos, and we will get that out to you because I want you to understand why I'm asking you to consider Gold Star Parents Retreat as the organization that you're going to put out there and say, you know what, this is an organization that is should be supported for these families. So I'm going to show you by just little snippets. Don't worry, you're not going to get a full length film, but we'll get you some snippets, and you really will understand. This is like family reunion, Terry. So
It
that was
is. It,
big,
it,
yeah.
it totally can be. And
Hmm.
seeing these, and I've said this before, I said, we have parents coming in and you see them smile after such a long time. And that, to me, that smile is a success. It's great to see. I know it's hard for some parents to do, but to see that is very heartwarming.
It's amazing. Do you have more that you would like to tell us about Gold Star Parents Retreat, or Brian, or anything to for anyone that's listening to that's coming to the retreat? Should they bring something, meaning me, as well? So, um, is there anything you're still looking for? Is there anything that is needed, or bring a certain shirt? Or I know last year some of the ladies were planning different things. So,
Yeah, it's a totally casual weekend. We want you to relax. We want you to be comfortable and relax. And yeah, there will be some photos taken. So if you want to wear just a nice shirt or anything, but no, there's no formal attire needed. There's no fancy dresses needed or anything. This is totally casual. It's at a ranch. You can look up Jellystone, Yogi Bear's Jellystone Park there in Wichita Falls, and you can see the campgrounds. We're actually going to have a visit by Yogi Bear, I think. We're
nice.
having a Texas barbecue dinner. Troy Melton has brought in a award-winning crew to cook a barbecue dinner for us on Saturday.
Oh,
So
nice.
we're looking forward to that. And I mentioned we have a wine and cigar bar, so there's a lot of relaxation going on. We may do karaoke again this year. I'm not sure.
Yes, yes.
Uh, the
Sergeant
Wichita
Carter.
Yes, the weather it comes and goes. It looks like rain on Saturday, and we will be outside Saturday morning. So bring an umbrella, bring a light jacket, but everything else other than your personal toothbrush is provided for you. We do try to make this as carefree for the parents as possible. Just come, relax, enjoy, have a good weekend. Uh, I'm not sure what else to say, but
You are correct. I mean, I wore a sweatsuit last year. I wore sweatpants and the jacket. It did match, but that's what I wore. And I took, just a purse and a bag that could sit with me on the plane. And of course, I was only there for not even maybe 12 hours, I guess. I came in and then
but
flew
still,
back out the next day.
people were coming up to you and they say, "Oh my God, you're Tracy," and they were
Yeah.
hugging you and loving you and swapping information and cards, and that's what we do.
Well, you're correct. I think I ended up with, oh my goodness, 20 or 30 pictures in that sweatsuit with multiple people that were like, wait a minute. And but other people were doing that to others too. So I
Yeah,
am not by any means somebody that's incredibly important. I just like to jump in and help where I can. And, unfortunately, Terry, you and I have had years. And so we have experienced a lot. And that doesn't mean I have to say this because this just happened to me again when someone said to me, well, you know what? It's been how long for you for two step? Because I'm sure you're okay. It's only been this long for me. And I said, I apologize, but I'm going to tell you the truth. I may be okay. And I'm going forward. And
yeah.
everybody has their own thing. Mine is between my faith, my children. But no, I'm sorry. I'm not okay. I am different, but I am, trust me, I am not dressed like this and wearing makeup or doing my hair for hardly anything, especially it's only been the last couple of years for me, Terry. I mean, I don't think people realize that. I did a lot on the ground that I had to do, and that'll be another show. Um, and then I had to collapse, to be honest.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
ran myself into the ground and
yeah.
I had to take
That's
care of myself. So
well,
um,
and I
there's a
appreciate
lot.
too because I know you've done the same thing. Like we'd be walking through a grocery store, and a song comes over the loudspeakers that was maybe one of Brian's favorite songs, and it just destroys us.
Yeah,
It's a flood of emotion that you can't control. And
right.
we've walked off and left the cart of grocery. Felt bad about that, but I had to leave the store. Like I can't
You
even
just can't.
function
Yeah,
right now.
I, same
But
thing.
we go on. We walk out the door. The next day, I may wake up laughing about something I remember Brian saying or making a joke about. So it's what we live with now. This is what we do. This is how we get through the days. Whether it's a song that triggers us or a smell or you see a package of beef jerky that Brian used to love in the store, those are triggers for us. But we help each other get through that. And we do that
Yeah,
together.
we do.
That's
Well, I'm glad you said all that because I feel the same way. But again, I like to say this on another side of us. We're not going to bring down a room. We would politely excuse ourselves from somewhere rather than an event that's going on and something. Trust me,
Yeah.
you wouldn't even know. We would politely just, you know,
Yeah.
excuse
We've
ourselves.
done that.
And
Yep.
yeah, yeah, and even SWAT. We're here. SWAT's a veteran and I won't get into much about him. He can do that if he wants to, but just being a veteran, you get out and the transitioning part, I happen to be friends with a few. Um, and I heard them saying some things that were what I was feeling. And I was like, okay, well, about as close as I could get, and not a therapist, but like a friend. a mentor or someone that's just gets it, has been a veteran. So for the longest time, I have been like, I want to be able to connect that, and it not only helps our veterans, but it also helps the family. So I guarantee, SWAT, if you were at this, SWAT would play for us. I might have to get SWAT to go to one of our retreats.
It
We could
would
have
be
live
my
music, Terry.
it would be my pleasure. Of course, I would do that anytime, especially for Tracy. She always puts me on the spot.
Oh, we would love that.
Uh, but Terry, just on a personal note, if you don't mind, can you maybe just tell me a little bit about, or tell us a little bit about Brian? Just
Yeah,
what was he
there's.
like? Kind of what was his style of music? Maybe what was some of his hobbies? Just if you don't mind, I'd kind of like to hear a little bit more
Oh
about
my gosh, he was definitely the music man. He had an iPod when he went out 2008. I think they were in Iraq, and I think he had two iPods. John, he had everything from the Archies to ZZ Top on that iPod. Anything anybody could think of and want to hear, he'd plug it into the striker and play it. They'd come to him. He taught them uh, all about the Beatles was his favorite group, I think, and he got that from me. I have to confess, he got that from me. But loved music. Absolutely was what he carried with him a lot. And uh, I guess the best story I can tell about Brian's character was an Easter story. He and I had gone to a friend's house for Easter. They did the Easter hunt, and the award was this huge, big Easter basket full of toys and candy and everything. Brian won the basket, and I heard some of these moms over here saying, "Who's this kid? He's a guest. He won our kid's basket. He should give it up." While they're saying that, Brian's unwrapping it, and then John, he stepped away from the basket and he said, "Dig in," and he let
Wow.
all of those kids and some of those moms take candy out of that basket before he ever touched it. And that was one of the first times I knew Brian has a very special spirit, and he was a natural born leader. He played soccer, baseball, football there in Cleburne High School, and he was always team captain. Seemed like he was always head, and we'd take a train trip up to Arkansas to see my parents, and Brian to go trotting off, and he'd come back 5 minutes later with 6 kids behind him. Like, are you collecting kids? What are you doing? But he was just a natural born leader. And even the guys in his unit would tell us that. They say, Sergeant Burgess could lead without saying a word. He led without leading. And that's even his command noticed that about him. And that was Brian. He was one of those guys who would never ask somebody to do what he would not do himself. And he was that pointy end of the spear. And he got
He looked
yeah.
he looked out for his fellow soldiers. He looked out for everybody. He kind of took them under his wing.
He did. He was awarded the Bronze Star of Valor for an action
Wow.
very similar to that posthumously. So he knew he got put in for it, but he never saw the medal. It was awarded to his family. But the guys that he saved told us about the story there at his funeral. It was just, I've learned so much about him. Of course, there was things he did in Iraq and Afghanistan that he never would have told me. He never would have shared those things with me. But his guys, they're not under any oath anymore, so they can share his stories. And I told them one day, I said, good or bad, I want to hear them, and they do. They share that. They invite us back to the No Slack reunion every year up at Clarksville. His unit, Corbin, is just an amazing man. That's part of our family now. It's No Slack family, and it is a treasure to me. I can look in Brian's cabinet and I can see all these challenge coins and gifts that have been bestowed upon Brian, and that keeps me going. That wants me to let other parents know this is possible.
It's more than possible because you have made this and created this And that is because Brian, I say Brian, I know a lot of people will say rank and stuff, but I feel a personal connection, which I might point out here, by the way, and the people that won't be able to see us live that are going to be on the podcast, Terry and I did not plan this. We are wearing the same color of shirt and jacket here. And that wasn't planned, I promise you. So, Terry, I wanted to say, good pick. I love it. It is one of my favorite colors. So, and May is coming up. So that is motorcycle awareness. And this is the color that you would wear. So that's one of my reasons. So it reminds me, I'm looking at you nonstop, and your shirt is reminding me of, you know, Adam, and we'll say two-step for him. But you're correct. Once they get out of the service and they find you, I've gotten more information and more. I have a couple that will call me and say, "Hey, mom," and I'll say, "I'm not old enough to be your mom." Like, say sister or something. um, because actually, a lot of them are older than me. Adam was younger, and I don't need to get into all of mine, but the fun, that's a funny part. I'm like, wait, thank you. I know what you're trying to say, but call me your sister, and I'm here for you if you need anything, and we will make sure to take care of each other. But it's literally when Adam's unit, he'd gone to Iraq. When he was going to Afghanistan, his unit was really down and torn up by my son not being there, and because of the timing of when they were deploying, they didn't allow them the proper, or us, like there was no time to allow them or us anything. And the flood of emails, messages through Facebook, you name it. I mean, a few of them I was really concerned. I was like, I was focused on, are they okay? And so that I ended up at the base and started working on new policies. And you know me well, Terry. So that's where I jump in, is like, well, let's create new policies. Let's create new legislation. Let's make things better around these bases. And let's make sure that we try to change it in the future so that this does not happen. Because when something happens around you, and this is in any environment, and you witness this, and you know that it's wrong, but you don't speak up, you're
Right.
part of the problem. If you do not excuse yourself, if you feel like you can't be the person to speak up, or do something and see if you can make a difference so that it doesn't happen to someone in the future. That's really all that I decided, was I need to make sure that this never happens to anyone. I don't want this to ever happen again. It should never end.
Exactly.
And
Right.
I agree, Patriot. We're getting all kinds of messages from veterans and Blue Star, Gold Star, and that means active duty or Gold Star families. Our servicemen have fallen. Brent, thank you. Patriot, you are correct. The oath never ends, because as a veteran, you're just like SWAT. And I saw your message there, Patriot. If you need anything, reach out to me. I have missed you. And Terry, you've got so many messages here. I'm assuming you do know one. She seems amazing. She's got several messages here, and she's in Orange County, is what she put. But I wanted you to know it because she keeps. Do you know this name? Victor, Tony, Jean,
I do not.
MUNO. Okay.
No.
It may be on mine. So I just wanted to say thank you to them, because they have been, I mean, just their comments over here. And I am literally trying to keep up with everyone's comments and everything that you're saying. We want to say thank you to every one of you for your kind words. They're saying that they actually love this episode, and that they want us to know that friendships, and music is medicinal. One of those stole it from me.
All right. Yeah. Well, I have to apologize to Victor. I didn't know him by Victor. Okay. I do know. Yes. And my apologies.
You do? I
It's,
figured you had to, because
yeah, I do. Sorry about that, Victor. But
this person has a
there's this-
lot, and it's beautiful.
yes,
There we
and
go.
It's been
there you go.
it's been a few
Yes,
stressful days these last few days, but
I
I think
understand.
we're good to go.
You are.
I've got to drop off here in a little bit and get
Yep, we're
Ben
gonna have
back.
SWAT.
Yep.
Yep. Well, Victor, I haven't met you yet either. So Terry, it's one of those situations that we both are in a lot, and it's like, yes, we are here for you. Can't wait to meet you in person. And so we recognize your messages right now. Right now, what we'll do is we will let SWAT do a song here for Terry Burgess and Gold Star Parents Retreat for the show. And then next year, SWAT, we will work on getting live music up there. How does that sound? Unless you know anybody up near Wichita Falls that I can call. That's
I will always make the time, especially for anybody who's a veteran or Gold Star families. I just want to say again, Terry, to you and Beth, thank you so much for everything you do, and thank you for the sacrifice that you and your family have made. Like I said, I'd never met Brian, but I feel like we're already kindred spirits. I feel like I would have followed him anywhere, and he might not want to put it up with me as one of his soldiers. But it's so great, and the fact that you're carrying it on and you're passing it on, and you're doing this for other people and other families, it's amazing. The same thing Tracy does every day. Just the fact that y'all are still carrying on the spirit, and it sounds like you're carrying on Brian's spirit. So thank you
Well,
so much
oh,
for,
John,
and
thank you.
please,
I appreciate that.
yeah, and do me a favor, especially I'm sure Tracy will give her one when she gets there, but tell Beth thank you and give her a big old hug from me.
oh yeah.
So
I will.
I
I will.
definitely will. What song are you gonna do for us for Terry here
well,
before
I have two choices. I could either do one of my military songs that I wrote, Terry, or I could play. He mentioned Beatles. I could always play a Beatles song. So it's up
it's
to
up to you,
y'all.
Terry.
Nope. Let's hear the military.
All right. Well,
All right.
Tracy's heard this song, Terry. I served overseas in Iraq as well. When you mentioned, Brian being over there in 2008, I was actually over in Iraq in Tikrit, actually. Or I'm sorry, not Tikrit. Tikrit was '06. Ramadi was '08. Excuse me. So
Okay.
we
So
might
was
have.
Adam.
I was going to say, so me, Brian, and Adam might have
Adam
kind of
was
been
too.
some of the same dirt. So, like I said, we
Yeah.
already
Yeah.
have that connection.
Yeah.
But anyway, this is a song I wrote. It's called Soldier's Christmas. I know it's not that time of year, but I think that a lot of people out there, when you're separated from your family, we can all relate, no matter if it's Christmas or, like you said, Easter or Thanksgiving or any time of the year. But we've all felt that separation, and so Terry, this is a song I wrote. This is called Soldier's Christmas. And I'd like to dedicate this one to Brian and Adam, if I can. So,
Yeah.
I bet by now they gave their list to Santa Claus, and they're wanting everything they've seen at the shopping mall. I know it's hard to hang those lights on by yourself, and I'm wondering where you put that elf on the shelf. I bet you're cooking something in the kitchen. I can almost smell what I'm missing, but I can't wrap it up. Can't make a delivery. No, I can't sign a card, put it underneath the Christmas tree. No, it ain't for sale, but I don't mind at all being a soldier, sending freedom over. I bet that church is all lit up with candlelight. and you're on the second verse of Silent Nights. I hope all is well and all is burning bright. Just know I'm thinking about you tonight. But I can't wrap it up, can't make a delivery. No, I can't sign a card, put it underneath the Christmas tree. No, it ain't for sale, but I don't mind at all. Being a soldier, sending freedom over. No, it ain't for sale, but I don't mind at all. Being a soldier, sending freedom over. Sending freedom over. 'Cause I'm just a soldier. Sending freedom over.
That's beautiful, SWAT. And
Thank y'all. Thank y'all for letting me share that with y'all. And Terry, thank you so much for joining us tonight. We really appreciate it. I mean,
Oh, my
I'm
pleasure.
just getting choked up thinking about everything. Ugh, I'm at a loss for words.
Oh,
yeah.
thank you, John. Thank you. Make
Well,
sure that Tracy gives you my contact information, my mailing address. We got some stuff we'd like to send you.
I would love that.
definitely. Definitely. And Terry, so with all the music, I'm going back to my roots, which was music, and a lot of people didn't know that outside of military. So getting actual musicians there is actually easy for me. So
All right.
yeah, we could actually have live music instead of just karaoke.
Sign me
Oh,
up.
yeah.
You're
Oh,
signed up. Yeah. I'm sorry, John. You're signed up.
yeah.
No, you're
Yeah.
good.
You can come. Yep, Wichita Falls. There you go. Well, there you go. So GoldStarsParentsRetreat.org. Let's get someone that will fly SWAT up. He can play for us. There you
I'll
go.
make the drive.
See?
It's all good.
All right.
Oh well. Well, you're fully invited, SWAT. We thank you. Like I said, I mean, Terry, we've got some of the people you mentioned, they're veterans that are there that
Yes.
are helping. So
Yes.
you'd love it, SWAT. I mean, it's. I don't have a lot of words except to say it peaceful and just there's no bare bones about it. I don't know how to put it except it reminds me of the family reunion that I would do in Tennessee. It's very familiar. Your heart is full. And so thank you, Terry. Thank you to Beth. Thank you to Mike and Delisha Bozo, Sergeant Carter, Troy Melton, Rick Irving, and American Airlines for supporting GoldStarParentsRetreat.org. Please go there as you're listening right now. Share that organization with someone and understand that when you take care of someone in this organization of goldstarparentsretreat.org, you're actually taking care of the family of those who served for your freedom. And that's why we're all here tonight, because of that oath and our service members that put it all on the line for us. So, Terry, we will keep connecting, and I will take snippets as I mentioned while I'm there at the retreat, and then when I get back, we will get it out. I know that it's getting late for you, Terry. I know you very well, um, and there's a lot to do right
Yes.
before an event. Trust me, I know that.
Yeah.
So we will definitely let you leave at any moment when you say, I'm out." Wanted to let you know that. So don't feel obligated to still be here. Um, This is one thing that I wanted to do is get it out there. Let's talk about it, and then, we can build from there. But thank you for coming on, Terry.
Absolutely. Very
Thank you for
much appreciate
sharing.
Tracy.
Yes.
John, thank you. John, we will connect.
Yeah.
I'll be in touch
Awesome.
with you. And Tracy,
Awesome.
thank you for everything you do. Thank you for, thank you.
Well, I don't do a lot. I just feel like I'm just a person connecting to a person. I'm not really sure what I do. I don't know which hat label to put on me, but
Well, that's kind of where I am. Yep.
yeah,
So
yeah. So
thank you,
starting Gold Star, yeah, yeah.
and we'll see you soon. We'll see you Friday.
Yes, yes.
All
I
right.
will get in. I know that I didn't do it, but I think it's Friday towards the evening.
About
I
two
think I get
thirty.
in at 3. Yeah, 2:45 or 3, I think.
I'll be there in a
Um,
big white van to pick you up.
well, there you go. I can't
All
wait to
right.
see you. I can't
Uh,
wait. Just glad to have you, Terry. Thank you for
thank you.
joining us. That is Terry
Thanks,
Burgess with
Terry.
Gold Star Parents
Y'all
Retreat.
have a good
Awesome.
evening. Thank you, everybody, for watching, for joining in, and for supporting us. It's beyond appreciation. I don't know how to express that. So thank you from the depths of my heart. Thank you.
You're very welcome,
All
and
right.
we thank you, and we thank all of our listeners out there too. So, Terry, I will be seeing you soon.
All right.
Thank you for joining us,
You bet. Good
and
night.
good night. Good night, hon. I will see you soon. And that is goldstarparentsretreat.org again. So check that out. Go to the website. I also wanted you to, well, we're going to end on a music note here, SWAT. So go to John SWAT Music. You can find it everywhere, every social media account. You can look up John. I call him SWAT. It's a military thing. So, but you can look up John SWAT Music and check out some of his songs. SWAT and I just attended the Texas Music Awards, and SWAT had been nominated in the music awards, and I ended up going the full 3 days, and and so it's no secret anymore that you know my music side. So once I got up there, it was kind of like when I went to that retreat, and he was like, people just came up and like said, Tracy, and I'm like, what? um, as you know, SWAT, they were like, uh, as soon as he picked me up from the airport, he said, CMT. And I said, what? And he said, CMT, Tracy. And I said, no comment. But yes, I was raised in Nashville. I have been around the music scene, but I enjoy it. It is like therapeutic for me, like it is for you, SWAT. So John SWAT Music, we want to make sure that you check out his music. He's got a song still in the charts, right, John? Is it Sure Feels Good?
It's still climbing the charts. We just found out that it is just hit number one on the CDX. I think it's
Oh,
called Surging and Emerging. So, and it's in the top 50 right now. So it's doing really good. But, you know, first and foremost, I just want to throw this out there. It is so great to have Tracy back. I know she wasn't feeling well there for a while, but then of
yeah,
course you were up in Washington doing your thing with Rosie the Riveter. So we
right.
were all keeping an eye out on that. But I think I can speak for the audience. It's just so great to have you back, and we can be back
Thank
here
you.
together. And it's just it's great to have you back. But
Thank
I
you.
know you were up in Washington with Rosie, and 90 is she 92 years old?
No,
Is that right?
she is 98.
98. Oh
Or
my
she's just
gosh.
turning 99. She was the youngest one.
Oh,
So with the Rosie the Riveters, I'm sure everyone knows that name when I say it. World War II, the females that worked for Boeing. Boeing literally paid and Gary Sinise, and they took care of so much. We had a reception night. We had the Congressional Gold Medal ceremony. Um, I do have a funny story, but it's not tonight that I'll get into it. Of what I did, you know me well. I don't look at someone and think that they are different or better or anything. Especially, I don't care if it's fame. I don't care if it's politics. I really don't do that. So, um, I did use my voice, and we'll leave it at that for right now. But it's hilarious because the person that got up to speak, they were the security that was there, and there was a lot of extra security. Our president didn't show up, but that's okay. Wonderful turnout. Even Gary Sinise, he put out a message, and his people came, and the food, you name it. He put out a message as it was over, and I'm back home, and like you said, I was, uh, it's a kidney infection, so it was kicking me pretty hard. It still is, but um, he put out a message publicly that after seeing, the event and all the footage, that he wants to bring back the Rosies that are still here and get them back to DC, get them a dinner, because he wants to be around that. And I don't know how to explain it except to tell you the support and empowering moments of watching. One was 111, 108, 109, 102, 103. The youngest was 98. And there were 24 in attendance. And if I'm not mistaken, there were only 30 left from World War II. So Rosie May, who is also with our station and channel, was able to receive the gold medal. And I did get to go up, and I went to, I just wanted to feel it. And literally I like swatted my hand. I was like, oh, okay. I guess you're not supposed to touch them. But and it's in the Smithsonian now, but I did get to touch it. It's very beautiful. And then the Speaker of the House, I don't pay attention to. I mean, I pay attention to politics as far as my local votes and who's going in, but I mean, we had some like SWAT 111, 108, 109. Imagine this. I am someone who can't sit there and like watch them trying to figure out where they're going to sit. And Congress didn't come, and there's seats open in the front. Long story short, the fourth security guy, after I said, listen, we really need seats for these individuals. And he's like, each one is pointing to a different person, a different person. And by the fourth one, I said, please tell me who's in charge. And he pointed to a guy. And I said, okay. And I walked over and I said, they're not here. Like the Congress that's here now is here, but you have a whole road that's open. And I have people that are 111. We've already said this, how old they were. And Rosie the Riveters. And, I also was tired. So I could only imagine how they were feeling. And I said, they're not here. And listen, in politics, we voted you in. So if you're in Congress and you're not here, we need to let them sit down. And I need you to make that happen. Go talk to someone because I paid my taxes. And that's the reason that the politicians are here. So go find me a seat. Well, he comes back. Didn't take him long. And he said, go over there and take the signs off of 4 of those chairs. And I said, all right, thank you. Now, a couple of people that were in politics looked at me and actually exchanged a word. I was like, wow, okay. And told me to move. And I said, no, I'm sorry. I was told I could. I'm sitting there and the ceremony starts. So the person that's opening the ceremony jumps up on stage. It is the man in the tie that I went up to and said, I paid my taxes. They're politicians. They're not here. We voted. We're taking the seats. It's the Speaker of the House for the White House. He was not the security guy. Well, sorry, y'all. I didn't know what the Speaker of the House, I know his name, but I didn't know what he looked like. I was nice, but I was very direct because I'm on my 5th person now, and I don't want to see them fall. Or, I mean, I know if I was tired from standing there, I mean, some with a walker, some were, May, Rosie, she's the youngest one at 98. Was fit to be tied when they tried to get her into a wheelchair at one point. So she's somebody who's like, no, don't bring me a wheelchair. But yes, I pulled what you would call a Tracy, and it's just being real. And I don't care if I'm in the White House.
You realize that you're there to honor a certain group of people, that they've served the country in their way, and that they should be honored and they should be recognized for what they did. And it's Gary Sinise, I know he's a big supporter of not only veterans, but patriots and people that do their part to serve the country. So I think it's great that you were able to be there and celebrate that with them. And like I said, I'm sure most of the audience will agree with me, but it's great to see you back on your feet. And I know you're not 100%, but you made a pretty good bounce back. And of course, we've been praying for you the whole time. But it was really cool to
Thank
kind of see
you.
you there in DC, supporting them and everything they did. Because let's face it, especially back then, times were different. So different roles, but those women were doing their part, and for them to be honored and for y'all to be there, it's so
It
wonderful,
was
and that was
amazing.
just great.
Yeah, so I have to say thank you to Boeing, Gary Sneeze Foundation, and we were asked, by the way, SWAT. So as a show, if by the Rosie the Riveter Trust, if we would like to be part of their point of contact for the Rosies in Texas, and I said, well, what do we need to do? And she said, basically, there's an annual event where we recognize Rosies, and you just support. Put it out there. And I'm like, well, sure, I would love to. And she said, you need 4 people. It's not a nonprofit, it's not a organization, but it's a matter of once a year around they have a Rosie the Riveter Day, literally, that just passed. And so we would hold a concert or something we'd already be doing. So we could do in honor of Rosie the Riveter, we could, and that's what I said to them. I said, what about something like that? And she's like, that'd be great. And I said, perfect, because that's something I can get into. So not only will we be supporting them, but the music part of it. So, and they liked that idea. I said, yeah, I'll run it by a few people. And we do want to say thank you to everyone. We'll give a shout out to Paul and Dave as well. Dave, we are thinking of you and your family. You're in our thoughts and prayers. These are the individuals for the music awards, the music show that we were just at, that SWAT was in there in the charts and selected. Congratulations to those that were there and, played. And I met so many wonderful people. Shout out to CW. Shout out to Jimmy. And by the way, we we've been approached about a show. So a show with Apple and a show with Netflix and the new way to do music. And that's what they were talking about. So it's a new way to do music in a digital world. And I kind of gave a tip and said, well, do you have a passion or a mission behind that so that you have a story to go along with it? Because in order to get people to engage and continually watch, what is that going to be? And they all kind of sat around talking and talked about veterans, which I love our veterans support 1,000%. But I looked over and I said, do you know the one area that nobody has picked up yet? And I said, and I can tell you right now that I know because I'm doing it. And it is the Gold Star area. And you really want to include, I want to be all encompassing as far as patriots, first responders, Gold Star families, veterans, Border Patrol, K9. But I said, have you thought about those families? And I see your message, Patriot. I'll ask SWAT here in a moment. But yes, I will be making that phone call, and I'll be in Tennessee in 2 weeks. So I'm going to have a meeting, and I'll end up getting on the back channels with you, SWAT. So about that one. So, but it's so good to see you. Do you want to do a more uplifting song to lead us out? Or you want to call
Sure.
it a night?
Sure, I can do one more for y'all. And like I said, once again, just for everybody out there, you can see we're kind of back in the full swing of things. But it's so great to see Tracy. It was great to see you at the awards show
Oh yeah, that was
out
great.
there.
Yeah.
And like you said, we made a lot of contacts. We have a lot of same mutual friends that have reached out to you, wanting to join us on the show. And
I
I
need
think
to
we're gonna
call
let
them.
well, we're gonna make that happen, but
Yeah,
it's a great opportunity. And again, big shout out to Terry for joining us tonight. The
definitely.
Gold Star, parents and everything they do. And I know you've got that retreat coming up. That's going to be great. And it's just we've got a lot of great things going on, y'all. So everybody, just stay
We
tuned
do
because we're going to
a
keep
lot of
rocking and
music.
rolling. So.
Yeah, we are. Real quick, Swap, before you get started, Patriot is trying to find your website. It says it's not working. Is it johnswatmusic.com or what
Uh,
is it?
yeah, so we got my website is thejohnswatband.com. But you can
Okay.
also check me out on my Instagram. It's John_Swat_music. And of course, I'm up on TikTok at John Swat. I think it's 83. As long as they'll keep TikTok up, we'll see what happens there. And then, of course, you can
Yeah.
find me on Facebook as well. And then if you want to check out the music, just type in John Swat, and it'll bring up all my latest and greatest tunes. So, yeah, we're enjoying ourselves. And I'll go ahead, if you want me to, Tracy, I'm going to go ahead and play your song. I know we've played it a few
Oh,
times, but it's one that she wanted me to play at the awards show, y'all, but I didn't have a chance to. So we're going to bring it to
yeah.
you guys live right now. We're going to take
But
you
I'm
to a
going to
place
tell
for
you
like,
right now, Kevin Fowler was looking for a SWAT at the end there and ready to get him up on that stage,
well,
but it
Kevin,
was
this one's for
late.
you then.
There you
This one's
go.
for you, Kevin. We're going to take you to a place we like to call Red Mexico, y'all. And thank
There you
everybody for joining
go.
us tonight.
Thank you for joining us.
It's great to be back. So.
It is.
I wanna take you on a trip, head to Cabo, take a dip south of the border. But I can't afford her. Luckily, I know a spot right next to a used car lot where there's a cantina, 2 for $1 margaritas, and a mariachi band sings ay, 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 ay. We sing along, second left past the Texaco. Every night, Cinco de Mayo. We pour Modelo up extra cold down here in Red Mexico. Me and my muy amigos, good old gringos getting loco on some barbecue and nachos, lemonade and Cuervo here in Red Mexico. That senorita at the bar, sipping from a mason jar's the whole enchilada. She'd probably say nada. I've been working on my Espanol, que pasa, baby, te amo.
There you go.
She starts laughing, we start dancing, and a mariachi band sings, ay, 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 ay. We sing along, second left past the Texaco. Every night, Cinco de Mayo. We pour Modelo up extra cold down here in Red Mexico. And me and my muy amigos, good old gringos getting loco on some barbecue and nachos, lemonade and Cuervo here in Red Mexico. Yeah, me and my muy amigos, good old gringos getting loco on some barbecue and nachos, lemonade and Cuervo here in Red Mexico. Y'all come by now and adios from here in Red Mexico.
Ay, 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 ay. Ay, ay, ay. Arriba. Great one.
Thank y'all
Great
so
one,
much.
SWAT. That was great. Everyone has asked me about finding you. So everyone go to johnswattband.com. If it's on social media, it's literally just John Swat Music. You can find him. And especially if you're following me, you'll find him. He'll be here on Wednesdays. Catch us at 8 p.m. And thank you for joining us. We want to say thank you to Heroes Media Group, which we will be talking to soon about furthering our show along with the future and what's going to happen with some of these meetings. So SWAT and I will get you some more information and about what happened at those music awards, and we'll get some people on the show for you. If you're in need of anything, again, like I said, 988 is a number, but for resources, organizations, there's a good chance I'm going to have it. You can go to patriotsinsidethewire.com. If I don't know it, I will find someone and they will surely try to help you. So we hope that you have a great evening. Thank you for joining Patriots Inside the Wire here with Tracy Two Step and John Swat. I call him Swat. Look him up for his music. His song is Sure Feels Good that is climbing the charts. Check out Sure Feels Good for John Swat. That's the one song he was talking about. I love Red Mexico. So I'm so happy you played that. So beautiful, beautiful show. Can't wait to do more. I have so much to tell you on the back channel. So thank you everyone out there who's listening and for joining us. And when you tune in later, stay on to listen to the whole show. We are going to play an exit for you here, but we want to say thank you. And we will see you Wednesdays, 8 p.m. Get in touch with us through the website, patriotsinsidethewire.com. If you'd like to be on the show or you have a event, you have music, you have something that is going on, we would love to be there. We would love to talk to you about that. So let's stay in touch. And as I said, all weekend, do no harm, take care of each other, be nice. So we're going to play the outro here for you and say thank you for joining us.
Thank you for watching another episode of Patriots Inside the Wire, hosted by Gold Star Mom, Tracy Two Step. Help us broaden our reach. Like, subscribe, and share.
Don't stop it, Brits! So I'm my brother Two-Step.
Thank you again out there. Good night.